The Canadian female artist who started it all off and paved the way for many other successes in the female music industry across Canada. An album that stirred up controversy involving CanCon, and how one trip to a Canadian penitentiary led to the inspiration behind a popular Canadian song, all on this episode of Canadiana. Hello everyone, I'm Daryl, the Northern Vinyl Guy, and welcome back to another episode of Canadiana here on my channel, where I focus on Canadian albums that I have in my collection. Might be an individual singer or a band. Today we are going to be focusing solely on individual musicians, and some popular ones actually across Canada, and some of them had definite hits in the United States as well as the UK. So if you like my content, please feel free to subscribe. If you have not yet watched some of my other videos in this particular series, I do have a playlist. I will leave the links to the other videos. I've done 2 of them so far. I'll leave some links to the other videos in the description below. And so yeah, without further ado, what I would like to do is I would like to start off with, in my introduction, I had mentioned that there was a famous Canadian musician who paved the way for many other female musicians across Canada and the music industry. And so what I'd like to do to start off this video is to show some Anne Murray here. She is probably, she's probably one of Canada's most successful female artists out of Nova Scotia. This is her greatest hits album from 1980. Back in the late 60s, early 70s, she was making some great songs such as Danny's Song. We've got Snowbird. Snowbird is her first major hit that she had in 1970. And so I'd like to focus on this. She paved the way for Canadian musicians, female ones especially, including Katie Lang, Alanis Morissette. We've got Celine Dion that she had some inspiration behind, and Shania Twain. And if I don't have Shania Twain or Katie Lang or Celine Dion actually in my collection as of yet, but this album here has Snowbird, which of course was awarded, or at least that particular album was awarded an American Gold. She became the first female solo artist to ever win an American Gold in history. Danny's Song went to the top 10 of the United States and went to #1 in Canada. And this particular album also includes some of her other songs that made the top 10, You Needed Me, and of course from 1980, a cover of the Monkees' Daydream Believer, all on this. So yeah, focusing a little bit here on Anne Murray. There's not much more that can be said. I do have, I think 3 of her albums in my collection. She paved the way for all these female artists, and if it wasn't for her and her inspiration, it is, I wouldn't say that it's unlikely, but the chances of Canadian success for a lot of our other female artists, might have been a little more difficult. She was able to pave that way. This is on the Capitol record label here. So yeah, definitely can't go wrong with a little Anne Murray. If you haven't heard her, check her out. But she definitely was successful here in Canada, in the United States, and in the United Kingdom to some degree. She is also an artist that doesn't get focused on, or I haven't really seen too much of her collection in the VC, in the vinyl community. So yeah, I think that you should all take a look, check it out. Her music is can be pop. Most of it's country, or a lot of it is country, not too much rock, but a lot of pop and country music. So if you're into that, check Anne Murray out. All right, the second album that I have on today's Canadiana list is um, Scottish Canadian musician Gowan and his 1985 album Strange Animal. In my opinion, this is my favorite Gowan album, other than the And You Can Call Me Larry album from, I think it was 1993, 92. But yeah, this is probably my second favorite album. Definitely my favorite of the 1980s albums by him. And this is a gatefold. You can see there's Lawrence Gowan right there, and the lyrics for this particular album here. And of course, Gowan is noted for his fame starting in 1997. Became the lead singer of the band Styx. Now, this album here was, the drummer on this album is Jerry Marotta, who is also known for drumming on, albums for the bands such as Orleans, Peter Gabriel, Hall & Oates. So very famous drummer in the music industry. It was also produced, this album was produced by David Tickle, also known for his fame as a producer of the British band Split Enz, the song I Got You, and then of course Tom Cochrane's band Red Rider, along with Canadian band Platinum Blonde. So yeah, a lot of successful stuff going on in this. And this song features two major hits, I guess, in Canada, and one a little bit minor, but some of the singles on this are You're a Strange Animal, of course, hence the title up here. And then my personal favorite on this album is a Criminal Mind. That song was inspired. Lawrence Gowan went on a tour. There used to be a museum. I'm not sure. I haven't been to Kingston in a while, but there was a museum that you could go to, Kingston Penitentiary Museum. And while he was there, there was you can always sit in one of the cells that's there and get a photo op. And I guess there was a prison guard that was there, and he was talking to the prison guard. And the prison guard was talking about the recidivism rates of prisoners, that once they get released from prison, most of them will return, or a good portion will return to prison, because there's just not enough programs for them to kind of break the cycle of the criminal mind, so to speak, right? The song Criminal Mind. Now, the lyrics on this song, I think, are amazing, very powerful. A criminal mind is all I've ever known. They've tried to reform me, but I'm made of cold stone. I've spent my life behind these steel bars. I've paid my debt in time, but being brought to justice, this was my only crime. Before you hand me over, before you read my sentence, I'd like to say a few words. Here is my own defense. Some people struggle daily. They struggle with their conscience. Till the end, I have no guilt to haunt me. I feel no wrong intent. So I think, I mean, that pretty much sums up possibly what a lot of prisoners and their mindset go through. They would like to be successful when they come out of the system, but really, what they've experienced inside those prison walls has hardened them up to be tough criminals. And, it's very difficult for them to be successful afterwards, although that's not always the case. And of course, this is on the Columbia label. But once again, A Criminal Mind, You're a Strange Animal. And then there was a minor hit with the song Cosmetics, which kicks off actually the first side of the album. If you want to listen to A Criminal Mind, it is the last song on side 2. So I believe it's over 7 minutes long, but I love it. So check out some Lawrence Gowan. Once again, since 97, he has been with the band Styx. So check that out. All right, number 3 on this list, the third album, is from my teenage years. I remember when this song came out. Or not this song, but this album came out. In fact, I didn't own it. One of my younger sisters actually owned it on CD. But I remember this was on Much Music and MTV and all these things. And that is Alanis Morissette's Jagged Little Pill. This is a great album. lots of singles, lots of hit songs. All I Really Want, You Ought to Know, Hand in My Pocket, You Learn, Head Over Feet, Ironic. They're all on this album. This is kick-ass. This is top-notch. You got to check this out if you haven't already. Alanis Morissette, prior to this, she went by just the name Alanis. And in 1991, she released a self-titled album called Alanis. And on that album was the song Too Hot, which was her first major hit. But I mean, this album here paved the way for, a very successful career. The song Thank You came out, and Hands Clean came out post this album. So if you know those are going to be from the late 90s, early 2000s. But this one is just filled. It was produced by Glenn Ballard. What did I write down about Glenn Ballard? Yes, Glenn Ballard. I mean, he co-wrote Man in the Mirror, Michael Jackson's Man in the Mirror. He was also responsible for producing multiple Michael Jackson albums, including Thriller, Bad and Dangerous. Of course, Thriller, we all know that album. Dangerous is the one that has, Heal the World and Black or White on it. Very great album. So, Mr. Ballard, she picked up a really good producer on this one. The quality is amazing. Great album. Check her out if you haven't. All right, now that particular album also, Jagged Little Pill, went to #1 in 14 different countries, including Canada, the United States, the UK, and Australia. Alanis Morissette hails from Canada's national capital. And actually, this particular album, Jagged Little Pill, was also ranked at number 69 on Rolling Stone's greatest albums of all time on their 2020 list. So, excellent album. This is on the Maverick label, which you don't see too often, but very cool stuff right there. Check it out. All right, another one from I wouldn't call it from my teen years. I would say that it would be my late elementary years. This one here stirred up all kinds of controversy, at least in the music industry in Canada. And that is Bryan Adams and his Waking Up the Neighbors album. This, for me, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because when this one came out, I was in, I think, grade 7 or grade 8. Brings back lots of memories for me. This one, even heard it on a family vacation one time. I think my dad had it on CD. Waking Up the Neighbors, though, I mean, this had a spawn of hits, including Can't Stop This Thing We Started, Thought I Died and Gone to Heaven, Do I Have to Say the Words, There Will Never Be Another Tonight, and of course the popular from the Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves soundtrack, Everything I Do It For You. This album produced by Mutt Lange of Def Leppard and AC/DC fame. So lots of stuff going on here. Guaranteed, when I further go through this Canadiana tour, you're going to see some other Bryan Adams albums on here. This is my personal favorite one, but there is no doubt that we are going to be covering, or I'm going to be covering, some of his other ones here on the Canadiana. So yeah, if you haven't checked this one out, this is a double album on A&M. So I have it's a dual album, so 4 sides, but excellent stuff. Check him out, Bryan Adams. All right, and last but not least, I could not go without doing a little bit of Corey Hart here. And this is the First Offense album, his first album in 1983. This one had him nominated for a Juno Award, and this is the one that has a couple of real popular songs on it, but the main one that he is known for, of course, is the song Sunglasses at Night. I also have, I forget the name of his other album, but I have another album by Corey Hart here on vinyl, which I will talk about on a different series. But you got a little bit, he was a Canadian heart throb. And of course, this went to number 31. This album went to number 31 in the United States. Sunglasses at Night went to number 7 on the Billboard charts. And It Ain't Enough, which is the second hit that is on here. It's the 4th song on side 1. went to number 4 in Canada. Produced by John Astley. Not related to Rick Astley. This isn't a Rick roll, but known for being a producer of some albums by Eric Clapton, and of course he co-produced one of the albums by The Who. I forget which one it was. I think it was in 1978. So yeah, a little bit of fame there. This is on the Aquarius label. So a nice blue label right there. Pretty cool stuff. So yeah, I think that you should all give these albums a little bit of love. Check them out. Some more popular Canadian music here. I will be coming back at you with another Canadiana next week. And so if you enjoyed this content, you learned some cool things. If you have any comments or suggestions, please leave them in the comment section below. And I hope that you enjoyed this. Feel free to subscribe. If you haven't done so already, leave me a thumbs up. And until next time, have a good one.